What is up, everybody? How is it going? Welcome to Filling in the Gaps. I'm your host, Flo Joe, and today we're going to be getting into some crazy stuff, y'all. How's it going? Let me go ahead and turn on some of these things real quick. Oh, dear Lord. What's up, everybody? Gang, circle gang. Inner Circle is in the house. How's it going, y'all? Let me shout out everybody that's here. Jazzy, Jess, Anna Banana's in the house. Cat's here. Leah's here. Boss Bish. Eileen. Sweet Peas is here. Whitney. Sid's here. Jad's here. Tammy, how's it going? Tipsy Gypsy's in the house. Cindy from sunny South Florida. Tara's here. What up, Dubs? Megan? Hope is here. Hey. You guys, we're streaming on Twitch. So if you guys are on Twitch too, follow us there, Flojo TV. We're trying to figure out how to stream on other platforms too. Right now, we're trying to stream on Twitter or X, but I guess I need to have a premium account. It says a premium account on X is required. So I guess we won't be streaming on X for now. Peas in the building. How's it going, Peas? Kimberly Bridges is here. Barbara Bish. You guys, the internet is blowing up. The internet is blowing up. Sorry, I'm just giving a few seconds for people to get in here. Ronan, how's it going? Welcome. All right, you guys, let me see. We still got, there's about a minute left on the music, so we're just going to talk. How's it going? How's everybody doing? It's Friday, you guys. Happy Friday. Friday the 13th, to be exact. We got another Friday the 13th in this calendar, so y'all better be taking care of yourselves. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pull this up, you guys, because actually, we're going to start off with the TMZ article. Where'd that one go? Hold on. Let's go back. Oh, Lord. Ramona, how's it going? Master Death. 3 Friday the 13th in 1 year. When's the next one? Is there going to be a third one this year? Oh, Lord. The Boss Bish, it's your Friday. It's my Friday, too. I hear you. All right, you guys. So we're going to start off because we're going to talk about some d4vd news, and apparently Neo has come out on Instagram, and he's decided to talk his talk, and he decided to share a few words for the whole world to see. Well, maybe not the whole world to see, because he decided to share a story where he made a post, but he only left it for very close friends. And I don't know if he believed that anybody on his close friends would have just screenshotted it and sent it to TMZ, unless TMZ's following him. I don't know. How's it going, y'all? How's it going? Barbara Bish said, I am here for it. Let me go ahead and turn the comments on. There you go. How you guys liking this layout? You guys like this layout okay, or do you guys like the other one? Because we're on StreamYard right now, and the other one that we were using was OBS. How you guys feeling about this one? Let's see. Gold Digger, how's it going? Welcome. Megan said, I like it. Whoops. See, I just don't like the fact that StreamYard can't read like custom emojis. But Megan said, I like it. Ramona said, I like it too. Cool. And just in case, you guys, if you guys are on YouTube, we're streaming in both vertical and horizontal. So you have the option to choose which stream you like better. So you guys can choose, okay? But anyways, let's get into this because TMZ put a post out today and they were basically saying that Neo has called singer David a dickhead, right? And he claims that he knows a lot. Here, let me just kind of zoom in on this really quick. Let me share this. So here's a post. This literally went up at 3:56 p.m. And oh my lord, this has sent shockwaves through the internet, all throughout the internet. So it says here, right? Neo calls singer dickhead, claims he knows a lot. David's good friend Neo is a friend no more. At least that's the way it seems based on how he is privately torching the singer. Yikes. Neo, as you know, was arrested last month for failing to appear before grand jury in the apparent murder of Celeste Rivas. And David is the prime suspect. and I have to apologize real quick, you guys, because I haven't been feeling well, and I went to the urgent care today, and I learned that I have a double ear infection. How the hell does that happen? So I've got like eardrops in my ears, so I can't really like hear stuff. So pardon me if I sound weird. But yeah, I'm like dying. Anyways, here we go. So we have David right over here on the couch with Neo, and it looks like this photo may have been taken, I think, the night before that they went on the tour, right? It says here that Neo, who appeared before the grand jury for only 40 minutes, clearly did not offer much info, but now he says that he knows a lot. So here's one of his posts, right? And actually, we'll just show this one right over here because it's a little easier to see. So this is a post that he put up, and he put, "Thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way. And boy, do I got all the receipts for things. Ha, 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 ha." What do you guys think about that? Y'all believe this? Y'all believe what he's got to say? Because for a long time, Tammy said, "Okay, Neo." Okay, Neo. Right? So Gold Digger said, "Well, hopefully Neo." What did she say? "Well, Neo, hopefully you told the grand jury the whole lot that you know, right? For reals. Because the last thing we need is for him not to give up any receipts." Ronan says that he is sus, still, in my opinion. Lolo Moon, weird. I know, right? "I'm legally safe." I don't know. I think that means he must have been granted. I don't know. You guys think that he was granted some sort of immunity? Ramona said he is going through his beautiful boyfriend. Oh, he's going to throw his beautiful boyfriend under the bus. Oof. Nene said, "I just don't know what to think about that. I just remember how arrogant he was when they came to get him." Well, they got him from under mom's bed, right? According to Nancy Grace. Hope said, "Nope. He's going to squeal and minimize his participation." Master to that said that there was a falling out between Neo and... Oh, wait. There's a falling out. Put Neo in an anonymous confession site. Type Neo, all the posts saying, "Sorry, I made you." Oh, what is that called? Unfinished something. I forget what that's called. Tara said he did that ish, in my opinion. Yep. A turd. Eileen, you calling him a turd? Right? So what do you guys think? You guys think that he's got receipts on David? Let's go back to this one really quick. Let's just zoom in. So it says, according to Neo's private Instagram post posted on Friday and shared via close friends, he says, "Thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way. And boy, do I got all the receipts for things. Ha, 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 ha." Right? And the 23-year-old streamer drops the hammer. "I told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the fucking window as soon as I got arrested and they slapped that dickhead's name next to mine." So here, let's go over here and share this one. You can probably see this a little bit better. Okay. Can you guys see that? So it says, "I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the effing window as soon as I got arrested and they slapped that dickhead's name next to mine. And for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it, and my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news. How many of you guys know what he's talking about? Because I have no idea. Let's go back to TMZ's article, right? Let's see. So, okay, here they just kind of restate everything that he said. So, and for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it, and the warrant was retracted because there's more to the story than what's on the news. So I'm very, very curious what exactly happened, right? So TMZ put out this video. Some of you guys may have already seen this, but we're going to watch it here on our channel. Here's Sleepy Harvey. So all of you guys can drop Sleepy Harvey in the chat, right? Coco Mom, how's it going? Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you doing, Coco Mom? And Coco Mom, I want to thank you for your Cash App donation last night. I know that you sent it out to the show, but I do want to make sure that I thank you, you know, on stream and on live, because we do appreciate your support, even when we're not streaming. So I want to say thank you, Coco Mom. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with this.
David case. Neo, who was a very close friend of David's, has gone off on the singer in a big way. We thought up to this point the two of them were in lockstep. That is not the case. We obtained posts of Neo's that were posted today, actually Friday, on his close friends feature of Instagram. And it is very clear he is done with David. He begins with, thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way. Now,
how many of you guys really think that he's done with David? Because I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, maybe he just gave the DA and the grand jury everything that they wanted to know, right? I don't know. What do you guys think?
That refers to the fact that, remember, Neo was arrested for failing to appear.
Is that a Freudian slip?
I'm legally fine in every way. Now, that refers to the fact that, remember, Neo was arrested for failing to appear before the grand jury that's investigating the apparent murder of Celeste Rivas, and David is the prime suspect in that investigation. Neo was asked to testify, actually subpoenaed, didn't show. He was arrested, eventually showed up at the grand jury last month, testified for about 40 minutes. So it is pretty clear he didn't say a lot, and then he was released. That's why he's saying, I'm legally fine in every way. And he said, and boy, do I got all my receipts for things. Ha, 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 ha.
Ha, ha, ha. I just saw a comment in the chat, and we do want to make sure that we send our prayers and well wishes to Coco Mom. She just mentioned that she is going in for surgery next week. So everybody drop a prayer hands in the chat for Coco Mom as she prepares for her surgery this coming week. We hope you have a speedy recovery, Coco Mom. We love you over here on FloJo TV.
He goes on to David. He says, I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the effing window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that dickhead's name next to mine. And for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it. And my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news.
Did you just throw that paper as if he just slam dunk? Okay.
Or to the
we'll give him that one, okay? We'll give him that one because he said there's more to the story than what is on the news. And Neo, we are curious. Let us know. What does the news know, or what else is there to know that we don't?
Story than what's on the news. So it seems that he is saying, number one, and by the way, his lawyer echoed this to us. His lawyer said,
that's a good question, Tipsy. Why does TMZ always get the gossip, right? How come they don't? Oh, it's funny though, right? And I'm glad you brought that up because for the longest time, TMZ has not reported on the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case, and they never reported on the documents that came out. So just like Ronan said, they pay for it, right? And I know if you guys have been keeping up with the news, TMZ is about to head into some legal troubles with popular Twitch and YouTube. I don't know if he's on YouTube, but I know he's on Twitch. They're gonna be going into some legal battles with what's his name, Aiden Ross. So I think that's gonna be, they've got some trouble coming their way, and Aiden Ross is not playing games. Shout out to Coco Mom. Donated 5 gifted memberships. So make sure that if you got a gifted membership, drop some hearts in the chat. Drop a thank you. Who was gifted? Who was gifted? We got a few people that were gifted. Ozzy, Ladybug, Extreme Blonde, Sea Blue TV, and Dr. Kita were all gifted memberships. So make sure you thank Coco Mom in the chat. And everybody, welcome to the inner circle, you guys. Thank you, Coco Mom. We appreciate you all day. All right, you guys, let's keep going.
That Neo has absolutely nothing to do with what the lawyer calls a heinous crime, and that Neo has been smeared on social media and in the court of public opinion. One of the reasons the lawyer is saying that is we broke this story that in the spring of last year, David took a mysterious trip, at least that's the way authorities characterize it, mysterious trip from LA to Santa Barbara in the middle of the night in a remote area of Santa Barbara.
Now, this is one of the things that has been talked about for so long, but nobody has any clue or idea. And don't forget that this was TMZ who first reported on this mysterious trip that was taken in the middle of the night from LA all the way out to Santa Barbara. And during the Two Angry Men podcast, Mark Garagos and Harvey Levin were discussing how law enforcement was able to utilize their technology, their resources to pinpoint them using GPS, Tesla video, and they said that there was some other form of social media was another one, and there was some other thing that they utilized to track everybody down minute to minute. So I'm very curious to know what exactly it was that they utilized and who this person was, because they're saying whoever was there with David, they're saying that there's a belief that this person has involvement before, during, and after the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. So if Neo's saying that he's got receipts that it wasn't him, I mean, who are you guys putting in that second seat? Who's sitting in that passenger seat, you guys? Does it matter at this point? Everybody wants to know, did Neo drive the Tesla? I'm assuming that Neo is coming out and saying that it wasn't him, right? Let's see. Close said, Neo's attorney's statement is very telling to me, not just that his client is innocent, but that he had nothing to do with the heinous crime regarding David's alleged crime against Celeste. Very telling, right, Chloe? I agree. This is going to be one for, I'm telling you, every day that we wake up and we turn on the news, it just gets crazier and crazier. And shout out to whoever just subscribed to the channel. We just officially hit 1,400 subscribers. Yay! We are growing, you guys. We are growing. So I appreciate you guys. Whoever subscribed to the channel, thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate your support. Okay. That's it. Ooh. Okay, sorry. I am just catching up on the chat. Did Coco Mom say that she was about to go? Coco Mom said to keep your memberships because she said it's worth it. So y'all better do that. Y'all better listen to Coco Mom. Coco Mom is one of our biggest supporters here on the channel. Let's see. I don't care. People will do anything to get off accessory or red rum charges. I agree with you, Rufio. I agree. Family will come out and defend them right to the death. So, I don't know. Yep, we just hit 1,400, y'all. Cool. That was pretty cool. I appreciate that. Whoever it was. Thank you for the sub.
And somebody else was in the car with him. There were a lot of people who were speculating that it was Neo who was in the car. Ooh. And there was talk, rumors that Celeste may have been in that car as well, although we have absolutely no knowledge of that. This was swirling around social media. Her body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla in front of his LA house in early September. So the question now is, what happened between Neo and David? Something clearly happened, and based on what we know, this may be somewhat of a surprise to David. That
Yep. Exactly what you said, M. DeBose. Everyone involved is turning on him, and David will be all alone on his own little island. The fall of fame. Type a 1 in the chat if you think that there is any possibility that he can recover from this and still have a music career. Type a 2 if you think he is done.
You're done. You're done. Sorry, but you're done.
This happened. I can't say more than that, but this may have caught David off guard that Neo has broken this way. And I think it's significant that whatever Neo was involved in, he says nothing. He says he knows a lot about it. He says he knows a lot more that was in the news, and what has been in the news is a lot. And he's saying he knows a lot more. So it seems like he is just waving this in front of David, but something has happened between the two. In the meantime, we know that the grand jury had been meeting. They were supposed to meet this week. They did not. Ooh. So we don't know if the grand jury has completed its investigation.
I don't think that they're going to be done until they have. Go Digger, hey, I see you on Twitch. How's it going? Welcome. We're streaming on Twitch, you guys. So if you guys are on Twitch by any chance, go give us a follow out there. We only got like 12 subs or follows. Is that, I don't even know the Twitch lingo, but we're working on it. We're working on it out there.
The grand jury could recommend an indictment. Everything we're hearing is that an indictment is likely.
And we know, right, that David's birthday is coming up on March 28th. Next thing you know, you're going to hear this knocking on his door, right? You're going to be like, yo, we're coming for you. We are coming for you. But how many of you guys think that there's also somebody else involved, right? TMZ was very adamant about saying that there is more than one person involved. SF Investigates feels that there's about 3 or 4 people involved, right? But there's maybe a possibility that these people may have been granted immunity, right? Margarita says, hey, Flojo, what did his lawyer say? Let me see if I can pull up a statement. If anybody has a statement from the attorney, please let me know, because I haven't seen it just yet. So I would love to know where you guys found it. But I do want to kind of shift over our attention to this post right over here, because our good friend SF Investigates decided to chime in and let everybody know how he feels about this recent post from Neo. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, you guys. Take a look at this. SF was not playing, you guys. Hold on, let me just. All right, you guys can see this. So SF said in a tweet, this was maybe what? This was posted, I don't know, a few minutes ago. Let's see. When was this posted? This was posted at 5:47, so a little less than an hour ago, right? He stated, so here's the thing, Neo. If you have to tell, quote unquote, my side of things, that means you were involved in the quote things. Sorry, quote unquote things. You just want everyone to believe that you did less of the quote unquote things. People who weren't involved don't have a quote unquote my side of things. And how tone deaf are you exactly? Right? You should have put that in all caps. Exactly. Your Weep For Me post has 11 references to you and not a single mention of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That's exactly what I was saying earlier when I first saw that. Who is dead? She's dead because of the quote unquote things that you're trying to explain away. Nobody cares about your feelings, Neo. This is about Celeste, and justice in her name. Hashtag Neo the Asian, hashtag d4vd. And look, so if we take a look at this, right? He basically circled every time that Neo mentioned himself. So he said, I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things. Sorry, you guys. We're just trying to emphasize the whole me part, right? My side of things, all for that to be thrown out the effing window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that dickhead's name next to mine. And for the record, the things that I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged with. They were never filed, and my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news. Hey, you say you just switched over to Twitch. Not sure how to work this, but I'm sure I will learn. We're on the same boat, Pink Panther. I don't know how to use Twitch, but we are there. So if any of you guys want to join us on Twitch, find us, Flojo TV. We're not hard to find. Oh, it's you, Tammy. Hey, there you go. We'll learn together, Tammy. We're all going to learn together, you guys. What do you guys think? SF was not playing, you guys. Hold on. Let me turn off the comments so you guys can see this. Nepo babies, right? And this comment comes from the fact that we know that Neo's mom has some skin in the game when it comes to Hollywood, right? She is, I want to say she's a film director who starred Neo in one of her films very early on when he was just a little child. We know that he was in a movie called Are You for Great Sex, which I don't think many people know, but the movie title was changed. And what was it? Somebody out there in the chat who knows the title of what it was changed to. I think it was Tryst Sundays. Tryst? Guys can buy it on Amazon if you guys. Oh, Tryst Weekend. There you go. There you go. Tryst Weekend. Boom. That's where it's at. So, if you guys want to buy the DVD on Amazon, that's where you can find it. So, let's see. Possibly he's upset at being the one who was asked to move the car, right? And that's a good thing that you brought that up because the comments on Reddit, I don't know, Reddit was blowing up. And thank God for the people on Reddit who do their due diligence and do this whole sleuthing. And a lot of these people, they are doing God's work, right? So let me see. This was a post that was posted in the d4vd's sub. And this one said, is it just me or is he speaking with the confidence of a man who's not on tape moving the Tesla? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like, right? I think that post is, he's really trying to tell you, like, wasn't me, right? I'm all for content creators moving away from YouTube. I'll follow you anywhere. Thank you so much, Tara. We appreciate you. I don't know. Maybe we'll start streaming on TikTok too, because I hear that's a good place to stream. So we'll figure that part out. Shout out to Mac Dislison celebrating 2 months of being a member of the Inner Circle. And sorry, you guys, my throat's all messed up because of this stupid ear infection. I got a double ear infection, you guys. I just came from urgent care earlier, and I looked at my ear. They were like, "Damn, gotta put you on some antibiotics." All right. So it says here, I guess I'll just wait to see the video for myself, and if it ever goes public, these words will come and haunt him as if he was the one who moved it. Maybe he moved it without realizing that was what was in the front, considering the tow yard people only started noticing the smell from the car a few days ago after it had already been there. Don't think the people that towed it noticed the smell either before taking it to the yard. It might not have been smelling suspicious when Neo moved it. If he moved it, right? We don't know. Right? But if Neo moved it, allegedly, right? And maybe that's why he's so thankful that he has receipts, because some of them help prove that he didn't know what was in the car when he was asked to move it. Or David, again, that is allegedly, right? Shout out to Lauren Conlon for that one. I can see a scenario where David asked him to move the car because it kept getting ticketed for parking in the same place for ages. That wouldn't seem suspicious. I don't know, you guys. What do you guys think? Let me catch up on the comments. Where is the burn cage now? It's probably still at the house, to be honest with you. I know. Not a double ear infection. I know. I can't hear shit, you guys. They got me on eardrops and some ibuprofen. So, hey, Rach, I see you on Twitch. What's going on? Oh, you can give memberships on Twitch too? Cool. I don't know if we're monetized yet. So we're just trying to make our way to like, I think 20, 25 subs or followers. So then that way we can work on becoming a Twitch partner. And YouTube, don't take my membership away from mentioning Twitch. When did the smell in the home happen? What date? Was this way before the Tesla was outside? So we can't confirm that there was any smell inside the house, but there was a video that took place on July 4th, right? The 4th of July party. And it wasn't exactly on the 4th of July, if I'm not mistaken. But there was a party where Sakura was eating her tacos, right, in the bathroom. And they had mentioned a smell. And David was like, oh, I took a shit in the bathroom 2 hours ago and it still smells. But I don't know. I don't know if they're referring to smell of a dead body or not. Tara said, Neo knows what he was doing.
Allegedly,
right? Yep, delete everything. It's going to be one of those kind of nights, right? Yep. Hold on. Sorry, I'm just catching up on comments, you know. Oh, they did give me antibiotics. I got some eardrops. I got to put them in twice a day. Yeah, I think we can work our way into getting some mods. Right now, since we have a small following, we only have Mama Flo modding the channel. I'm not even logged in on it right now, so I don't know how any of that's going down. Rona said, I can't figure out how to get into my Twitch account anymore. Maybe I just need to make a new one. I think so. But make a new one so we can subscribe to you. I never heard her say smelled it, though. Yeah, I didn't hear anything either. The demon named David is spawned straight out of Astroworld. Oh, man. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't know what else these are, but they look fine. Did anyone ask about Celeste when she wasn't around? That's a very good question, Janita. Did anyone ask about Celeste when she wasn't around? There were a ton of people who knew her, right? And a ton of people who were close to David's circle who knew her. I'm very curious if any of them asked, where's Celeste at? Haven't seen her in a while. And then when they do ask, what was their response? Or what was David's response? Right? In other news, let me see. There's also CNN came out with another article. They actually did like this mini documentary where they were able to go to some of the landmarks and locations very relevant to this case. And SF Investigates was in this this mini documentary. It was a 12-minute documentary. Let me see. Where is it? I really want to play this for you guys, but I know we can't. But I will. Let me just go ahead and pull up the one thing that was different in this. Hold on. I'm just going to show you the only thing that was new in this video, because it was a photo that none of us had ever seen before. Okay. So let me go ahead and share this really quick. Now, not that this has anything to do with anything, but this was one of the photos that was shared on the mini documentary. Hold on, let me catch up with comments. Any innocent people don't play games like that. You are right, Sea Blue. Shout out to Jazzy Jazz celebrating two-month membership. Hair flip. What she say? Hair flip 2 months and I'm beginning to smell justice. The more they talk, the deeper the hole gets. Justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez. That's right. That is right. We are going to. It's funny because, you know, a lot of people come to our channel and they always, you know, some random people come to the channel and they say thank you for continuing to talk about her. But, you know, I've made it a point on this channel to make sure that we do not stop talking about getting justice for Celeste. And the least that I can do is share a story to some of the bigger creators, right, to help push this story to continue to have her name talked about. We want to make sure that she's never forgotten. Stars Flow would be a great guy to work for, and you would be great. Yeah. I wish I could show this to you guys, but I don't know. Whoa, did Ronan just sent 5 gifted memberships? Whoa. Shout out to Ronan. Thank you for gifting those 5 memberships. Who received those memberships? Let's see. Candy Kisses, Scorpio Moon, Mountain Woman, Hope. There you go. And Refine Studios were all gifted memberships. So if you guys received the gifted membership, please make sure you thank Ronan in the chat. Then again, everybody, welcome to the inner circle. Woo. All right. Let's see. Hold on. We're going to go ahead and play some of the parts from SF Investigates because we can't play the entire thing. So SF Investigates said, investigative correspondent Kyung La and CNN produced a 12-minute investigative story on d4vd Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. A shorter version will air on TV today. The full length can be viewed here, and we do have that, but unfortunately we can't play it. I would play and then edit it out afterwards, but I'm afraid that it might be a copyright strike as opposed to a copyright claim. So I want to mess with the, you know, big TV like that. But let's go ahead and watch this really quick because he's got a few words to share.
For months, she for months, most likely months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there. I'm a private investigator that exclusively does missing persons cases.
Steve Fisher was hired to unearth evidence in the case, which starts here, a search warrant on the Tesla. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke.
She, for months, most likely months, was...
And then here's another one.
She is missing.
Absolutely. She's listed as a missing person. And when she's having contact with the family, which the first thing that you're supposed to do is call the detective or call 911 and say, listen, she's here.
We knocked on door after door in Lake Elsinore, trying to get an explanation from her family and friends. No one, including Celeste's family, talked to us on camera.
David was also afraid of
police. She is missing.
David was also afraid of police at Jason Lewine's party. He's a killer, more than one person. Ooh. Master Death, if you know that there's more, send that over to law enforcement. I appreciate you telling us here, but if there's more, send that over. Send that over. God bless Steve is all I can say. Yeah. Shout out to Steve Fisher, SF Investigates. He's really been the one who's kept everybody in the know when it comes to this case, right? Because if it wasn't for him, we would know absolutely jack shit about this case, right? Rufio said, who is this lady? Is she a part of Neo's team? Unfortunately, no. She is not a part. She's part of CNN, actually. And she did this documentary right over here. And I'm going to give you guys the link to the video in the chat so all of you guys can go check it out. In the event that you guys do want to watch it, you guys do have to sign in utilizing your cable provider. I don't know. Should we just play it? Take the L on this one? You let me know. They're probably going to flag the hell out of this. We'll play it. We'll play it. If you guys say yes, we'll play it. Let me see. Do we know that she is just CNN, or does Neo have family ties to networks? That's a great question. We don't know. We don't know. That's a good point. It's a good question. All right, you guys, if we get a copyright strike, we do it for the team, you guys. So we're going to watch it for now. If the stream happens to end, because we know. Thank you so much to one of our mods, Jazzy Jess, just sent us a Cash App donation. Thank you so much. You know you didn't have to. Oh, it's a good question. All right, y'all. Here we go. Maybe we should just kind of keep it right here. No. No. All right. Y'all ready? Type 1 in the chat if y'all are ready. Ranch and Toes, how's it going? Welcome. All right, y'all. We're doing it for the inner circle, y'all.
A rising star.
It's crazy to me, bro. I love my fans so much.
A young girl missing.
All this taken from her family.
Found dead and dismembered in a towed Tesla.
She, for months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there.
How did 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez go from a small-town middle schooler to Hollywood runaway and eventually the trunk of a celebrity's car?
Who failed Celeste?
Multiple people. It took multiple people.
Violent imagery in David's own music videos has added to the online fascination with.
We're going to play some music in the background, y'all, just in case, okay?
Story.
I don't think art itself should ever be the indictment, but it can certainly, lead us to start questioning it.
CNN's own investigation reveals the images that link David and Celeste, the online community that grew suspicious, and the email that shows someone tried to warn that this underage girl was far from home.
It just makes me wonder, why is nobody stepping in and saying anything? It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me.
The crime may be set in Hollywood, but I'm heading to the place at the center of the heartbreak, Lake Elsinore, California. It's 75 miles from Los Angeles, and the place Celeste called home. Outside her family's home, a memorial keeps a memory.
And this memorial, you guys, we went to go visit it right around Christmas time. The memorial was a little bit bigger than this. I'm curious because we did go there and we left. I wonder when this was filmed because we did leave a note for her. We did leave a card and we did leave some flowers. They may have been cleaned up because it was back in December. But Mama Flo and I went to go visit it. Let me see. We might have a photo or two. Let me see if we can find a photo. It was really nice. It was really beautiful. Let me see. Let me share this really quick. That's a photo of her memorial when we went. Actually, we went earlier, and when we went, it was actually covered because it was pouring down rain. And it was really nice to see that the family, friends, neighbors, they had covered it to preserve her memorial. So that was really, really beautiful and nice to see. I'm glad that they were able to do that. There was this one right over here. Lolo Moon. This was in Lake Elsinore. So Mama Flo and I, we went out to go to her memorial. And we were able to see some of the things that were out there. And we left her these flowers right over here. I think these are a photo. So this was left. Oops, let me see. This one right here was left from the inner circle. Shout out to Tara for being a member for 1 month. Of course, we brought Mama Flo. Of course. Of course, we couldn't leave her. There was no way I could not bring her, right? I went when I went out to go visit Mama Flo because Mama Flo lives like, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes from the place. So went to go pick up Mama Flo and then visited that spot. Not only did we visit that spot, but we were also able to go out and see. Oh, hold on. I can't show that photo because here we can show that one. We even went to go visit that parking lot where the whole exchange took place. You guys remember this parking lot? Unfortunately, it was drenched out there, but this is the parking lot where the whole money exchange took place, where supposedly David was paying off other students, right? So we were able to visit that spot. Let me see if there's any other photos. We even went down. Where is it at? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, this one won't let me. Hold on. They won't let me show them. Darn. For some reason, iPhone photos don't show up good on PC. Middle schoolers, Janita said. Yeah, they're probably middle schoolers, right? Because you're right. They weren't even in high school because Celeste should have been in what? 7th grade? You are so right, Janita. Thank you for clarifying that because I said high school. And that was totally wrong. They were not in high school. They were middle schoolers. And then here, so this is the photo that we're just discussing right over here. So this is the same parking lot. It looks like it was potentially raining out there too, right? Soup for two. That's right. That's never made it to high school, says Gold Digger. You are 100% correct. You are so right. All right, let's go ahead and continue this.
A memorial keeps the memory of Celeste Rivas Hernandez alive. She was a middle schooler, described as a beloved daughter, sister, cousin, and friend. She loved Hello Kitty and Takis and soda from the corner store.
I feel like I know her forever, for 11 years here.
Illy Nadaf runs a bodega near the family home.
She would come in here how often?
Very much like all kids, every day. They bus stop here and pick him up.
Is it heartbreaking thinking about this little girl?
Hell yeah. Especially I know her. Even if I don't know her, I'm be hurt. But when you know the person, it's hurt more. You don't know the future where it's going with this girl. You don't know what her dream.
Dreams that ended in a place where they're usually.
We went out to the liquor store too, and we talked to the workers there, and they weren't really open for any kind of questioning. But they did say, you know, that the media presence has died down since we last went there. I think they were saying that like when the case first started, when it first opened up, like all the way at the beginning of September, it was flooded with media. So people were out there overnight. They said as soon as like December came around, it just kind of died down.
Born, left decomposing in the trunk of a celebrity's Tesla, parked on the side of the road as the living world passed by.
And can you imagine just looking at this car, right? There's a potential. I mean, even at this point right here, 9/3/2025, we're looking at this Tesla right here, and Celeste is literally in this frunk while that photo was taken.
She, for months, most likely months, was stuffed in that Tesla and just left there. I'm a private investigator that exclusively does missing persons cases.
Steve Fisher was hired to unearth evidence in the case, which starts here, a search warrant on the Tesla. The registered owner, David Anthony Burke. This is Burke, better known to millions of fans as the singer David. He spells his name D4vd, has hundreds of millions of views on YouTube, and was the most Googled person of 2025. What led up to the deadly collision of two worlds? Police have said very little about this case from the beginning. Then a judge sealed the medical examiner's report, and a grand jury is underway. Prosecutors in court records describe David Burke as a target who, quote, may be involved in having committed one.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you for hanging out. Have a good rest of your evening. Happy Friday to you, and have a good weekend, man. Thank you for hanging out. So evil and sad. I agree, Lolo Moon.
One count of murder. David's lawyer did not want to speak with CNN due to the grand jury investigation.
Here's what we got. The Tesla is owned by him. We have photograph evidence that she was with him over a long period of time.
We find that evidence in the hidden corners of the internet.
It's kind of like when you pull up a floorboard and there's like a termite infestation down there.
Anthony Fantano is one of YouTube's leading music critics. For him, this isn't just about music. It's about celebrity and fans in the social media age.
Look, I was a young teenage music fan at some point in my life too, but I didn't have like a...
Is it Tezaris? Why are there two live streams? We are just testing vertical mode and our horizontal mode. So we're giving everybody an opportunity because we have learned that a lot of people actually tune in on the live streams when it's in vertical mode, and so we're gonna continue to do it. I know some people don't like it, right? But that's why you have the option. So you have landscape and portrait mode, so you can choose. But if you're currently in the mobile mode, in the vertical mode, just click on my channel and then click on the first live stream, and it should take you to the original one where we're landscape. So you have the option.
Direct connection to message some of my favorite artists. Social media just allows you to have a super direct connection to that instantaneously.
We dug through that social media and found this 2022 message from David. Celeste in here, then from the screen name Celeste. Hi, David. Bark.
You're sort of like expressing kind of like an attraction or an interest, like you're barking at them as a means of like grabbing their attention.
Yo!
Then Celeste, 13 years old at the time, appears, sitting next to David on his Twitch stream. A person close to Celeste tells us with certainty that this is her.
David.
Tara, our Twitch name is Flojo TV, so you can find us everywhere on Flojo TV, except for on Instagram and what is it, TikTok? Our Instagram and TikTok is flojo.tv. So if you guys are on any of those other socials, we are on there too. We'd love to see you guys there. So it's either Flojo TV or flojo.tv. You can find us on all platforms.
Himself in a lot of respects. He was still a kid. You know, think of yourself when you were 18. You know, did you have the, you know, mind and the responsibility and the wherewithal to be kind of like managing maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars and living in a mansion in the hills and have all of these like random adults around you who are pretty much just there to find out how to make money off of you?
Before he was a star, David was a teenage vlogger in Houston. His Fortnite gaming videos went viral.
I didn't want to be in front of a camera with a controller and just have fun. That's all I wanted to do.
But when he used popular music in his videos, record companies cracked down, forcing David to improvise.
I talked to my mom. She was like, make your own music, honey. You can do it. Make your own. I was like, you know what? That could be a thing. So I looked up how to make music on iPhone.
His breakout hit...
Silu TV said, remember when his manager took him to a high school and they lurked outside handing out fake blood-stained shirts? Yeah, I think they did it to 3 high schools, right? And then they proceeded to give them tickets to go see SZA and him perform. So what were they doing there? Who knows?
Romantic homicide went viral. Then hit the Billboard charts. David was on the cusp of global fame. Celeste just beginning her troubled trail as a runaway. But she didn't seem to be hiding. Remember, there's that Twitch stream. It's dated January 2024, about a month before Celeste is first reported missing. She's 13 here, and it's after 3 a.m. People on the stream even mention her name. David and Celeste island trip. Public.
What? David and Celeste island trip? Oh Lord, they must be a public statement from David's girl. They must be referring to the island, y'all.
Statement from David's girl.
Delete everything. Delete everything.
February 15th.
Oh, we need to clip that soundbite too. Delete everything. Delete everything.
Allegedly.
15th, the next month. Celeste is reported missing for the first time.
Oh, that was on my birthday. She was reporting. I thought it was on Valentine's Day. Was it not? February 14th was when she was first reported missing. I believe it was Valentine's Day. So I think that might be one error that CNN. But y'all correct me in the chat. Let me know if that's right, Valentine's Day?
Days later, a person close to Celeste sends this email shared with CNN.
It's sent to David at mogul.vision. Mogul Vision is David's management company. There's been talk that the artist David possibly has something to do with the disappearance of 13-year-old Celeste Rivas. If that statement holds any merit, please do the right thing and take her home.
Okay, so I wanna talk about this. I want to refresh your memory because hold on really quick. I'm gonna bring this up, but I need to just pull up the transcript first. Okay, let me move this over. I'm going to share this because just to kind of address that email, right? This is what they were talking about.
David.
It was an adult.
Hold on, let me just
a family member of Josh and some other people and whatever, and somebody
hold on. Better rewind it. Just
besides Josh, but there are people very, very close. There's a lot of people that were put on notice.
Can you read it to us? The email.
Before these managers know everything about their clients. They literally manage their entire life, not just their music career. Everything is like and he was put. I wish I could say exactly who this email letter was sent to. Besides Josh, but there are people very, very close. There's a lot of people that were put on notice.
Can you read it to us, the email, without giving anything away?
But I can tell you, it wasn't just like Josh. It was like.
Can you reintroduce what it is, just for people who might have just been joining?
So when she went missing in 2024, some of her friends and family knew. They knew about David or whatever, and somebody. So there's like a language barrier with the mom does not speak English, and the dad is not in the country, and so somebody was helping them. Somebody is very close to the family in Lake Elsinore.
So somebody that was very close to the family, guys. I want you guys to hear that. This was a podcast that SF did with Lauren Conlon about 5 months ago. And I don't know if this was something that the small little detail that kind of skipped everybody, right? But this was huge news when that email dropped. But I don't think a lot of us picked up on who the person was that sent it. So I think whoever it was knew Celeste.
The dad is not in the country, and so somebody was helping them. Somebody is very close to the family in Lake Elsinore and knows all of them, and wrote a letter kind of on their behalf. And it was an email letter. It was sent to Josh and a family member of Josh and some other people. And
so the email was sent to Josh and a family member of Josh, and maybe this could have been the wife. Could be. I don't know. I don't know any other family members that are public.
But basically said, we know that she's with him. I don't think they knew the address at the time, but they knew she's with him, and that they included the missing persons flyer. She's a missing person. She's 12 or 13 at that time. And the next I think it was the next day or the day after, she showed up. She just showed up on her own back home.
How did these people know Josh but not David?
It was an adult. It was an adult that just
a family friend of Celeste.
Somebody that, if you're trying to get a hold of David, I guess you could, and you have any knowledge of the industry and stuff, you could be like, okay, I can look up who his manager is and contact his manager.
So you think these people, these friends of Celeste or family friends, they knew of David, they knew he was a singer, they didn't know how to get in touch with him, but they knew enough to Google possibly his manager. So they retrieve Josh Marshall's email just as strangers saying, hey, we think she's with your client or whatever. And then the next day she shows up back home.
They actually dug a little bit deeper into that and find out a little bit more about his personal life and people around Josh.
Obsidian, what are these dates? 2024, February 15th, February 15th, February 16th, 17th, 20th, 25th, then March 19th. Are these dates that she was with him? Ooh.
So again, I don't want to give up. It would give up the person and they don't want to be given up. But you know,
hold on, I gotta find this too. Damn, I don't know if I have it. But well, anyways, the photo that I was gonna bring up was the DM between Asia Collins and somebody else, where in the photo you can see that somebody had posted a story and Asia Collins had responded to it. And she was basically saying like, yo, this is my friend's girlfriend. And then the person in the DM said, can you confirm that, sorry, I just read something about 2 young girls who died in Marietta. Sorry about that. Just reading the news. I lost what I was going to say. The person in the DMs basically was saying, like, can you confirm that she was 13? And then she responded, you're lying. Oh, the calls for service. Okay, that's right. That's right. Obsidian put together a crazy detailed report of all the phone calls that were made to law enforcement. So y'all should go check that out because that has a lot of information. The screenshot from Asia is February 16th, right? And the email that was sent to Josh Marshall and the family member was February 19th. So just days apart. So I think once Asia responded to that DM, whoever it was in that DM, whether it was the photographer or the makeup artist, it's my assumption that it was that person who had sent that email out to David and his camp saying that we know that Celeste is with your client. Her parents are concerned. And if that holds any merit, you guys should return her home because her parents are worried.
So, but the thing is, she showed up within 24 hours or so. So, and then about a month later, she split again.
So Goal said, so this family member knew Josh was David's manager through Google, or they actually knew Josh personally because Celeste was with David and they had in-depth knowledge about the relationship. So again, I think it was Asia who kind of helped tip them off, right? Maybe she did it accidentally. But I think that let me see if I can find that photo because it kind of just makes sense. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to find the screenshot of the DM. Maybe I won't be able to find it though. Maybe not. If not, that's okay. Anyways, if anybody does have it and they are in the Discord, send it to me.
Whoa, Steve. I mean, so Josh is going to be sitting right next to David in the cell. Allegedly, if.
Oh, she said it.
Allegedly.
Josh is going to go down on this, I think. And
here's SF saying that Josh is going to go down on this. And we don't know if Josh has testified in the grand jury or not, right? But we do know that the other manager, Rob Morgenroth, has. He testified for what we heard was a total of 3 days. You guys remember that? 3 days is when when he testified according to TMZ. And shout out to Obsidian for sending what I was looking for. Hold on, let me get this for you guys. Let me pull this up. 1 second. I got to save it. And then, all right, here we go. We got receipts, you guys. We got receipts. Shout out to Obsidian for hooking it up. Thank you for sharing this. So, hold on. Let me turn off this comment. Thank you, Go, for that comment. That was a good one. Yeah, you sent the right thing, Obsidian. Thank you so much for that. So this was the DM, right? So you can see here, whoever it was in DMs with Asia. And this person had sent Asia a photo. So I'm assuming that this is probably the photographer or the makeup artist for this photo shoot. And I don't know if this was a Valentine's Day photo shoot that they did, but this person also posted a story about Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and Asia responded to this story. So it says right here, right? Bro, this is my friend's girlfriend. And then the person responded, is there a way that you can confirm that she's 13? Asia said, what the F? You're lying. You are lying.
Why the fuck you lying?
You guys remember this? This is crazy. Yeah, Josh, his last name is Marshall. Yep. Makeup artist. Okay. Margarita Idol says, I heard makeup artist. It's a good point. And if Josh has lawyered up, we know nothing about that, right? Josh has kind of been just kind of floating in the background. I know that he randomly spoke up on really random on a TikTok comment, and SF was able to verify that that was actually him soon after. So that was really, really weird, right? And then Irock says his family knew she was holding hands with David's sister. Photo proof, her brother as well. His parents knew. And maybe that's the whole reason why they do not want to testify, right? We know that they filed that writ of habeas corpus on February 9th. And I think the court was able to respond before the 24th. So I don't know. You guys think that those were the last of the few witnesses that were supposed to testify in this case? You can tell David and Neo had a relationship. Yikes. I don't know, but it seems like they are no longer friends. That's the part that trips me out, right? Let's go ahead and continue this.
Back home, she came back home.
After that email was sent,
Yeah.
the person who shared that email with us didn't
There it
want
is.
us to say
February 19th. So this was 3 days after this, because we do know that this was on February 16th. So I think once Asia said, this is my friend's girlfriend, this makeup artist was like, oh, hell no. Who's your friend? David, right? The artist David. And that's where this email derived from. I don't know. I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong.
who they were, fearing for their safety. Lake Elsinore sits 75 miles from Hollywood, and we've learned David made that drive.
And I will tell you, because we have been to this location, we have been to Celeste Rivas Hernandez's house. The location of her house is so far from the freeway. When you get to the closest exit from her place, you have to drive anywhere between 7 to 9 miles just to get to her house. So when you see that video of Celeste Rivas Hernandez getting picked up, right across the street from that liquor store, whoever it was made that drive from LA all the way out to Lake Elsinore and had to take that 7-9 mile drive right off of the exit just to pick her up.
We uncovered this photo taken in early 2024 in Lake Elsinore. That's David. We were able to track the exact location of this photo to this parking lot here in Lake Elsinore. It's about a third of a mile from Celeste's home. And looking at the construction in the background of this photo, we're able to determine that this photo was taken sometime between January and March of 2024. What's so wild about David being here?
I don't know, because it's like a small town. You're not really like celebrities just coming over here chilling, you know?
Ethan Maldonado posted the photos. He says he got them from a classmate. One photo shows David with other young people, but CNN cannot verify why this meeting happened. Here's why it matters. The photos were taken sometime in the months of Celeste being reported missing.
Okay, so this part is important too, because I think this is the one thing that CNN was able to do that we did not know beforehand. And they were able to kind of narrow down a timeline as to when David met up with these middle schoolers to do this potential money transaction. So they're saying in between February 15th and March 19th of 2024.
The last time was on April 5th, 2024. But is she really missing? This photo from May 2024 shows Celeste among family. CNN confirmed the time and place using geolocation to a relative's graduation.
Geolocation.
She is missing.
Absolutely. She's listed as a missing person. And when she's having contact with the family, which...
And just to reiterate that, right? During this time that she was photographed at the graduation, she was already considered a missing person at this point.
The first thing that you're supposed to do is call the detective or call 911 and say, listen, she's here.
We knocked on door after door in Lake Elsinore trying to get an explanation from her family and friends. No one, including Celeste's family, talked to us on camera.
Nobody.
Celeste returns to Hollywood. On June 27th, 2024, David performs at a sold-out show at the Fonda Theater. Look at this photo from that night. Zoom in. That's Celeste backstage. David's fandom seems to know something about this missing girl. When David asks his followers about future song releases, one...
And C Blue TV, with the amount of CCTV and forensic technology we have, I'm not buying any of it. After what? We're on day 41 of searching for Nancy Guthrie as well. I mean, exactly what you said, right? With the amount of CCTV and forensic technology that we have, it's hard to buy that they don't know where she is and they don't have any additional footage of David. Like, that's weird.
Fan says, drop the one with the missing girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
It's just crazy the context and information that people within this community seem.
So Obsidian says that her missing poster says last seen on Valentine's Day. So that's probably, well, we do know, right, that there was video of her at David's house on Valentine's Day receiving those gifts. So I don't know. Margarita Idol says they must have, they got camera footage from a camera with no subscription for Nancy, right? FBI is pulling out tricks out of their hat, so.
To have not only her full entire government name, but the fact that she's missing too.
David was living in this rental home a few blocks from where the Tesla was parked when it was towed. The rental home was leased by David's management company, Mogul Vision. Executives there did not reply to our repeated attempts to talk to them. More than a year after Celeste was reported missing for the last time, neighbors in the ritzy Hollywood Hills are getting suspicious about a parked Tesla.
It was something that you noticed, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it might be somebody who's staying with some friends or something like that.
It looked like the car had been beaten up in some fashion.
Oh yeah,
describe it to me.
So there was a big dent in the back and in the front. It looked like it'd been hit multiple times.
Her aunt or close family member is the one who pushed the posters out as well. That's right. That's right. They did it on Facebook and everything, right? Rufio said something happened between them, whether he was worried about her airing out their relationship or whatnot. He took things into his own hands, literally and physically, right? I mean,
allegedly.
After David's Tesla was towed, LAPD detectives found Celeste's body dismembered and stuffed into 2 different bags. She would have turned 15 the day before. David's online fandom erupts, partly because of something in his own music videos. Violence. Romantic Homicide, released in 2022, includes a dead girl. And then, in One More Dance, David puts his own body in a trunk.
I am like the furthest thing from a conspiracy theorist. I really truly just go off evidence and follow the evidence. I mean, it is bizarre.
The video showed David's alter ego born in anime. He explained it in a podcast interview.
A big part of that manga was an evil version of me, and he would commit the crimes that I would have to solve as the detective, solving murders that I'm committing myself.
Let's be very clear, though, because we are talking about art. There's no proof that he did this simply because he produced this art.
And that's another thing, right? There is no proof, but there have been some Reddits going around saying that her death may have been a potential snuff that was recorded and live streamed. Any of you guys seen that Reddit that said that? It was a blind item. This came out very, very early on when this case just cracked. They were saying that it was filmed and live streamed as a snuff film. Wild.
People should be allowed to freely live out whatever kind of fantasies they want in the art that they create. But with that being said, in this instance, I think at the very least, it should sort of like, you know, cause us to call into question the series of events and start to at least look into it further.
After LAPD found Celeste's body in the trunk of the Tesla, investigators searched David's Hollywood Hills rental. Days later, Fisher, the private eye hired by the homeowner, recovered an SD card. On it, pictures taken in the final year of Celeste's life. That's Celeste wearing a hoodie, as she had in that Twitch video.
What do you see when you look at this picture?
There's someone who should just be in school, doing their homework, hanging out with their friends. As more of this comes together, we're really going to see like who dropped the ball.
She was 14 years old and stuffed in that trunk. I just don't know how anybody, even if you weren't involved, if you had any knowledge that she was in that car, how you could live with yourself and not report it.
So it says David canceled his world tour after the remains in his car were identified as Celeste Rivas Hernandez. His attorney would not comment, citing the grand jury investigation. I can't remember if her body was identified on the 16th or the 18th. I can't remember. 16th. Margarita Idol says 16th. Perfect. Thank you. Lord, oh Lord. How you guys feeling about that? How y'all feeling? Let's watch a few more minutes of this one because this one was really good. Again, this was done 5 months ago, but I remember watching this just a couple of days ago, and this really like kind of put things into perspective too. I love watching some of the old interviews that SF does because then it kind of helps tie things together. And we're just gonna watch a few minutes of this, and then we're gonna call it a night, you guys.
And again, it's shocking. I understand Interscope's probably like, don't nobody say anything, including David. But if I was Josh trying to save my career, I'd be like, I'd want to get out in front of this. I get what a defense attorney's going to say. I get what defense attorney's going to say, and I understand why. But I'm talking about the court of public opinion, not the. You got to like if you're balancing both because you're a public figure. It's like okay, and I know that's like every defense attorney's gonna be like, nope, I don't care about your career. Like,
yeah,
go out of prison. But the silence is deafening in this case. Like nobody from his camp has said a word.
Oh, we love Pierogi over here. Scammer Payback. What a great channel. Veronica said Scammer Payback Pierogi has a team and one of the hackers busts these types of oh yeah. I forget what is it Ryan is his name? Yeah, that guy is a white collared hacker? He's a good hacker. He used to be a bad one, but now he's good.
Wait, how did that go under the radar for so long? Like, I guess I'm confused also because and somebody just asked this, hold on. They said, why was there still an official missing person report active if she was in contact with her family? Well, it came out that initial April missing flyer, that was just what people were using when she was found deceased. Oh, look, this girl was missing at one point. She did return. She did leave again. So we know that. And I'm assuming that this letter was probably around April or February, maybe of 2024, Steve, or was this before?
They've asked me not to give the exact date. No, but yes, but you would no, but you'd be right. You'd be right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just from what we know of this timeline.
They just said we just kept it at 2024, but
so here you're gonna see that SF Investigates kind of slips and was like, yeah, oh well.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're saying, yeah, a little earlier in February. Well, I just said February, around February, maybe.
yeah. I guess I'm just like, okay, so how exactly was this?
So there was a missing persons report open, and so this is being that I only work missing cases, persons cases. It's so frustrating because the way these runaways get treated. So what happens is,
I was gonna say, are the helicopters here on the stream?
She'd already run away before, so open another missing persons report on her, that she's going to be labeled a habitual runaway. They're going to take the report and they're going to put her in a system called NCIC. And basically what that is if she comes in contact with any law enforcement agent around the country, she'll be flagged as a missing person. They'll then call the detective and be like, have her here. They'll do it. They're not out looking for her. When she initially goes missing the first time, they'll look for her. But once she's habitual, she's a runaway, and they're not looking for her. So this report's in there. So even if the family is in contact with her, one, I don't think the family is letting law enforcement know that. But even if they are, law enforcement can't clear a missing persons report until they do what's called a locate. And that means, so if I call and I say, hey, and this happens in every case where I do find something, I call and like, hey, I found so-and-so, right? And they'll be like, okay, we got to do a locate. So they send an officer out and they verify that it is the person. And if they're under 18, then they're taken to their home or whatever to set up, whether it be CPS is intervened, but if it's an adult, they'll ask.
Gold Digger said September 16th, Celeste was identified. September 18th, David transfers his property. That's right. Property number 1, the deed was transferred on the 18th. And then the second one was transferred September 22nd, 23rd. And don't forget that also on September 18th, one of his the parents' properties was swatted, right? That took place on September 18th too, which was the same day that the deeds were signed over. So a lot happened in those couple of days.
Ask them, do you want your, there's been a missing persons report filed for you. If they're of sound mind, then they'll say, listen, you have the right to either, we can tell them that you were located and clear the report, and we just call and say we've located them, they're safe, we can't give you any other information, they don't want their location given. That's perfectly fine. Or they can put them in touch with who's been looking for them.
Janita, that's a great question, because we talk about this all the time on our live, right? There's rumors that she may have hit out at that second location, which is actually really the first, I guess, property that David was staying at, because he did have that place before. And then he moved to the mansion, right? That was the 804 property. And for some reason, mainstream media does not acknowledge the existence of this property, which has kind of led to some speculation about why. Is David hiding out over there? Even across the street, right, from the 804 building, there's a lot of talk about that, because the address to one of the locations across the street from his 804 property, believe it or not, the address to that property is 764. Very odd. Let me pull up a photo of the apartment. Well, I don't know if it's an apartment or a business, but right next to it is 764. Hold on. So here, this is the actual property right here, right, that David was staying at. This was what everybody called the streamer house. Right over here, and you can probably see. Oh, wow. Oh, very odd that this car is here. Anybody happens to know who this car belongs to, please let me know. I've been trying to find out. This was one of his properties right over here. And so if we go out over here onto the street and we look at this place, you see that right over there? The address of this building is 764 North Doheny. Very odd. Very, very odd. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Oh, Leah, that is too long of a story for us to get into. However, if you really want to know what 764 and what that has to do with it, I am going to drop a link to Strategic Eyes, because he did a video on that, and he did such an amazing job on that. That video went viral, and everybody kind of, had their first insights on what 764 was. So I'll put that link in the chat. So then that way you guys can check it out. In the event you guys want to learn a little bit about it, especially if you guys have children who do play games like Roblox. What are the other games? I'm dropping the link right here. So shout out to Strategic Eyes for putting this video together. Yeah, it's a little too long for us to get into. But just know, Strategic Eyes did a way better job than I could have done. David is guilty. Did you just get here? What did Neo say? Oh, he said a lot. He called your friend a dickhead. So he said a lot of stuff.
I don't want them to know. And now in her case, that wouldn't be a factor, but they'd have to do a locate. So even if the family had said, hey, we have to talk to her, unless the officer actually put eyes on her, they're going to keep her in the system. But it just sits there because nobody's looking for them. These kids just get forgotten about. It's so sad. They're giving up. They're just like, hey, we're just forget it.
Yeah, but what Ashley said, the minute you said this, and she put this in the chat, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait a minute. You can't call a 12-year-old. I mean, sure, you can say they're a runaway, but you can't just say, okay, well, I guess a 12-year-old ran away.
If we're saying that they're not
David is guilty, I'll post it in the chat right now.
Old enough to consent to anything, not just sexual stuff, but not old enough to consent to make their own decisions and stuff like that, then we can't say, well, hey, they ran away once. They can do it on their own. It's like you can't have it both ways. It's like they're not runaway. Listen, with it, that is when you really need, as far as I'm concerned, those are actually more critical cases because these are kids. Okay, I get it. Kids, they're going through a time. They get upset. They run away. But if they're doing it habitually, then it's time to jump in. Then with some trained therapists and find out what's going on at home. Why don't you want to stay there? Is there something that we need to know about? Is there abuse? Because so many times, especially in foster, I mean, listen, I love foster parents when they do stuff, but there are some bad actors in there too. And find out so many times these kids, like on my Twitter, I have a pinned story of this 14-year-old, just tragic situation. And finally we sat down and talked to her and we're like, what is going on? Why do I keep doing this? And she's like, I just want to be heard. She's like, I just want somebody to listen. And like, she was getting, I mean, the stuff that was going on to her. And we sat down there and we're like, what do you want? She's like, this is the type of treatment I think I need. This is where I want to go. Like, not the exact place, but I just like, I don't want to be locked up. Like, I feel like I'm in jail in this like juvenile place. And we worked with her and we worked with the FBI and we got her into this place and she's thriving today, but instead of just this, hey, you're a chronic runaway, we give up on you. Well, if they can't consent to make their own decisions, then why are you leaving them out there on their own? Why don't you go talk to them and be like, why do you keep running away? Is there something we need to know about? Is a parent, is a family member, is a neighbor, is somebody doing something to you? Like what? But they don't do it. And
there's a lot that we don't know about Celeste Rivas Hernandez's past. There have been some speculations about her having an inappropriate relationship with someone who is twice her age. So at the time, this person could have been 20 years old and she was only 10. If you guys think about that, imagine a 20-year-old with a 10-year-old. How fucked up is that? How disgusting do you have to be? Natalie says, you two are the main ones on this horrific tragedy. Thank you both for showing Celeste so much respect and love. God bless you both. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you for hanging out. We are going to continue to keep her name alive until we get justice for this girl and after. So thank you.
No, and this goes back to sort of what you said. Yep. Celeste's mother doesn't speak English. It sounds like her father was not in the country. So, she didn't have this support system where her mom knew what to do. You're not from this country. You don't know what the hell to do when your kid runs away. I mean, did her mom possibly have a boyfriend who was, do we know anything like that was in the house and that was possibly suspect? I don't know, but I know that, the police are clearly probably waist deep in evidence.
You know what, Margarita Idol, that's a great point, right? That she was 10 years old and she was drunk. Now, we can kind of deduce that by referencing the text message that she sent to one of her friends, basically saying that when she had did it with Gus, she was drunk, right? So if it was around the time when she was only 10, she was drinking alcohol at that age. Disgusting, right? Like, was she running away at that age too? Or was she still living at home? Because that's crazy to be 10 years old and in a relationship with a person who's 20. Now, at this time, there's no way for us to question Gus, because apparently Gus was he was unalived in 2020 due to some gun violence. So he's no longer around to speak for himself. But yeah.
I can't even imagine how much tangible evidence they have to go through at this point, which is why I thought that the FBI would be involved, because again, you know, interstate travel with the, you know, the computers, the forensic, all this stuff. I'm just like, my head is spinning. So I don't know, but this has been really eye-opening for me, especially this email that you mentioned that we won't go any deeper on that.
I mean, now that email is public, so it is what it is, right? It's already out there. We just kind of reviewed it too. But do me a favor, if you guys haven't already, hit that like button. This is the first time that I'm asking this entire show. If you guys haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We just crossed over 1,400 subs, so we do appreciate all of you guys that have been supporting the channel lately. Our channel's growing slowly but steady. And I appreciate all of you guys that continue to support the channel.
But hopefully we'll have more information soon. I think, again, the public is just so concerned as to why there hasn't been an arrest yet. I know.
I think it's gonna be a while too, because I think that they got to wait for the tox results to come back for because, you know, again, if they arrest them, they got to charge them. The DA's got to charge them within 3 days and business days. And so,
all right, so we're just going to kind of transition back over to here. We're going to do a quick little recap of everything that just kind of went down, just in case you guys are barely tuning in. We'll just do a quick recap. So earlier today, TMZ put out an article basically stating that Neo has spoken out and he claims to know a lot. Basically stating that thankfully I'm legally fine in every way, and boy, do I got a lot of receipts to prove things, right? Ha 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 ha. Basically put up a story to his close friends and continued to say, I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the fucking window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that dickhead's name next to mine. For the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it, and my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news. Let's see. Then last thing we'll do is we'll watch this video again. Harvey, and we'll call it a night, y'all.
Development in the David case. Neo, who was a very close friend of David's, has gone off on the singer in a big way. We thought up to this point, the two of them were in lockstep. That is not the case. We obtained posts of Neo's that were posted today, actually Friday, on his close friends feature of Instagram. And it is very clear he is done with David. He begins with, thankfully, I'm legally fine in every way. Now, that refers to the fact that, remember, Neo was arrested for failing to appear before the grand jury that's investigating the apparent murder of Celeste Rivas, and David is the prime suspect in that investigation. Neo was asked to testify, actually subpoenaed, didn't show. He was arrested, eventually showed up at the grand jury.
So David is guilty. The video that we were playing earlier was a documentary, a quick little 12-minute documentary piece that CNN put out, a little investigative video that they did regarding this entire case. So they basically went out to some of the same locations that we've went out to too, but they just kind of put it into a little cinematic documentary for you. So to be honest with you, there's nothing new. This is just a complete kind of recap in 12 minutes of everything that's kind of taken place.
Last month, testified for about 40 minutes. So it is pretty clear he didn't say a lot and then he was released. That's why he's saying I'm legally fine in every way. And he said, and boy, do I got all my receipts for things. Ha, 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 ha. Now he goes on to David.
Allegedly.
He says, I think the worst part is that I've told so many people that I trust and I thought knew me as a person, my side of things, all for that to be thrown out the effing window as soon as I get arrested and they slap that dickhead's name next to mine. And for the record, the thing I was arrested for, I wasn't even charged. They never filed it. And my warrant was retracted because there is more to the story than what's on the news. So it seems that he is saying, number one, and by the way, his lawyer echoed this to us. His lawyer said that Neo has absolutely nothing to do with what the lawyer calls a heinous crime. And that Neo has been smeared on social media and in the court of public opinion.
Rufio, to be honest with you, David is Guilty is not a fan of David. He has actually been super active on the Reddits. He's been a longtime supporter of the channel too, and he's putting in work too. So shout out to David is Guilty.
One of the reasons the lawyer is saying that is we broke this story that in the spring of last year, David took a mysterious trip, at least that's the way authorities characterize it, mysterious trip from LA to Santa Barbara in the middle of the night in a remote area of Santa Barbara. And somebody else was in the car with him. There were a lot of people who were speculating that it was Neo who was in the car, and there was talk, rumors, that Celeste may have been in that car as well, although we have absolutely no knowledge of that. This was swirling around social media. Her body was found in the trunk of David's Tesla in front of his LA house in early September. So the question now is what happened between Neo and David? Something clearly happened, and based on what we know, this may be somewhat of a surprise to David that this happened. I can't say more than that, but this may have caught David off guard that Neo has broken this way. And I think it's significant that whatever Neo was involved in, he says nothing. He says he knows a lot about it. He says he knows a lot more that was in the news, and what has been in the news is a lot. And he's saying he knows a lot more. So it seems like he is just waving this in front of David, but something has happened between the two. In the meantime, we know that the grand jury had been meeting. They were supposed to meet this week. They did not. So we don't know if the grand jury has completed its investigation. The grand jury could recommend an indictment. Everything we're hearing is that an indictment is likely, and it could come soon. We don't have any kind of time frame. The DA's office has not given that to us. But again, there was no grand jury activity this week, and that's a sign that the grand jury may have done its job. We don't know if they voted yet, but stay tuned.
And then after, hold on, where is it at? SF shared a tweet basically saying nobody cares about what you have to say, Neo. And 11 times in this single post, all you did was mention yourself, and not once did you mention Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And basically saying that he can go fuck himself. Basically, right? How tone deaf are you exactly? Your Weep For Me post has 11 references to you and not a single mention of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who is dead. She's dead because of the quote unquote things that you're trying to explain away. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I don't know if any of you guys caught this TMZ article very, very early. There was another post that he had on his story too that basically was grilling California and LA. He was basically saying, like, I am so glad to be leaving this shithole of Los Angeles or California or something like that. But I don't know if anybody was able to grab any screenshots of that. So if you have those screenshots, please make sure to send them to me. Please, 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 please. But anyways, I want to give a shout out to everybody who helped support the channel tonight. Coco Mom for your 5 gifted memberships. Mac Dizzle celebrating 2 months as a member. Jazzy celebrating 2 months as a member. Last Ronan gifted 5 memberships. And Tara celebrating 1 month. I feel like you've been a member for longer. But if you guys do want to support the channel, you guys want to become a member, we do have very affordable memberships starting at 99 cents. All we do is we talk on Discord all day, and that's where the conversation continues. So if you guys do become a member, we do have a members only Discord where you guys can just kind of keep up with everything. So literally before any of these stories go out on a live, they make it to the Discord. So the people in the inner circle, right? All of the members in the inner circle, they learn everything first. So if you guys want to be one of the first people to learn anything that goes on in any of the cases that we cover, consider becoming a member of the inner circle, y'all. That's gonna be it for me tonight. I'm sick. I've got a double ear infection. I've got to put some eardrops in so I can hear. I can't even hear anything now. So thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate you guys. I wasn't gonna go on live today, but TMZ said that you have to, so we're here. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate it. We will see you guys probably tomorrow. Hopefully I feel better. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm Flojo. This is Filling in the Gaps, and we'll see you later. Peace.